3v3 Capital Spire blue team, we have Spankeh as a bright purple pinkish Ravener Alpha, fights ranged by default, can build tunnels for all of its allies to use, there we go. Alongside Mor2ton as an Inquisitor, fights melee by default, can get ranged weapons, forgoes pretty much all support to have loads of crowd control. HeadWrestler rounds out the blue team as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, has a bunch of spells, tries to get his default Doom Bolts ability on my Mor2ton brood here, but I managed to dodge it just. DuckMySick on the red team as an Apothecary, fights melee by default, support commander that can heal, Ultramarines DLC. Darks as an Eldar Warlock, offensive melee commander, has a bunch of spells, and I am playing a big stompy Hive Tyrant, fights melee by default, very tough, cannot be suppressed, walks through cover and wants to eat your arms off. Doom Bolts on the face of my Mor2tons, forces them to get the hell out of there. I only lose 3 models, not that bad. Here comes Dark's Banshees, need to be careful of these heretics, but I do have double Termagants, and with that Destructor and the Banshees, these heretics get swamped and just about make it out of there. Duck has gone down in the first engagement at the top. Space Marines can struggle in first engagements against Tyranids. He's gone for double scouts just to try and get some more bodies in the first engagement, I think. Taking tons of damage this squad though. And eventually he backs off, I believe. Yes, doesn't want to lose any more models. Imperial Guard sitting in the center. I am up against Imperial Guard and Chaos then. So my first order of business is to get Barbed Strangler Warriors, because Barbed Strangler is amazing versus Guardsmen, also works great against double Chaos Space Marines, which I was guessing the Chaos player would go for, since Chaos players usually do, and it does fine versus heretics. And if you have melee heretics up against you, you can just use Crippling Poison. So I want those Barbed Strangler Warriors as soon as I can. I have the Warriors out, don't have the power to get the Barbed Stranglers, 25 power it is. Good stomp there by this Sentinel tier 1 vehicle. Keep decap points but cannot cap them, and counters melee. As you can see, stomped both the Banshees and the Mor2tons there. Eventually we force off the Imperial Guard player. Here comes HeadWrestler though from the south flank, capping with heretics. Double CSM gives them a very solid base in tier 1. Heavy ranged infantry. There are no slouches in melee. I don't want to send my warriors in yet because they haven't got their Barbed Stranglers, and I don't want them to be in melee when they get that ranged weapon upgrade. Heretic taking tons of damage from that Shuriken, and Warlock gets a nice Destructor off, and they get away with 3 models. Did finish the cap though. Here come my Mor2ton brood. You can see the green getting basic synapse from these Barbed Strangler Warriors. Not sure what I was trying to do, trying to cap there. Barbed Stranglers shut down these CSM, but I don't have Adrenal Glands in time to really do a lot of damage to these guys. Chaos Sorcerer does a good job tying up my Barbed Stranglers, forcing them to melee. Mor2ton's very lucky to get away, lose a member in retreat. Meanwhile in the middle, Mor2ton pushing again. I have double Termagants, Banshees backing me up, and a Shuriken Cannon which sets up, and we manage to force them off with it. Double Shurikens for Darks then, triple Shurikens. Not sure if that was a mistake. Our power goes down, and I think it was full, or at least had 1 or 2 generators. Duck struggling early on. And Warrior Brood for Spankeh, but no Barbed Strangler for these guys, keeping them in their default melee state. I put down a Brood Nest in a stupid position, since this is our only exit and entrance to the east side. Anywhere else though seemed a bit too close. I suppose over here would be the best place. But there it goes, 75 red for a reinforcement point anywhere in the field. It's a great global ability for the Hive Tyrant. 2-to-1 cap for us, or it will be when my Hive Tyrant finishes capping. Duck making another push, gets Devastators. Here is a Ravener tunnel. Ravener just biding his time. Double Termagants, both have their Toxin Sacks. Warriors are a pretty nasty melee unit too. They are quite underrated as a melee unit in tier 1, I think. give you synapse and leap into combat disrupting stuff. Yes, they are targeted immediately, but that means your other stuff doesn't get targeted. As long as you're careful, you can get them out. I go to the center power to see Darks starting to cap it, so I back off. Chaos Sorcerer making a nuisance of himself with Vestments of the Warp, allowing him to teleport around. And here comes Mor2ton from the south flank with double Guardsmen, and we see the Barbed Strangler in action, AoE damage and instant suppression. I'm trying to get Rending Talons in time for this engagement. Warlock puts down Immolate and the Guardsmen are devastated. If I had Seismic Roar then, might have been able to finish off both of them squads, and my Hive Tyrant is lucky in the end to get out of there. 18 HP. Again, Barbed Strangler doing an amazing job on his heretics and a quick poison just to make sure those heretics go down. The CSM completely shut down. He should be forcing melee with them, though if he did, I'd just cripple them. And he runs away, doesn't lose any CSM. Quite a sturdy tier 1 unit. Tier 2 for Mor2ton and HeadWrestler. We're a bit behind in tech because we've lost this power here. And we're a bit behind in VPs too. 474, 374, 100 behind, and they have a 2-1. Looks like Darks cancelled the third Shuriken, noticing that it was on Overwatch. DuckMySick goes for a very heavy tier 1 shotguns. Mastercrafted bottle on his Apothecary. Flamer tactical marines, devastators, and an assault squad. You're getting close to 100 power with that. 474, 364, nothing wrong with spending 100 power in tier 1 of course, but you've got to make sure this stuff doesn't die. Mor2ton lost tons of stuff. We took out the Sentinel here with double Termagants and Guardian Fire. There's the Husk, which grants a cover. I try to take out or harass some power, but the Sorcerer catches on, though he does retreat. And now I'm up against double CSM and Guardsman, and Darks comes to support, seeing my plight. Inquisitor immediately gets a special attack on my Hormagaunts, which prevents them getting into the CSM earlier. Immolate goes down again from Darks. Here come Banshees too, and that was a really nice engagement for us. We're pinning her back in their power and can now try and hit it. Meanwhile, in the north, Assault Marines jumping around. Flamer Tacticals working on the Termagants. See the Warrior leap there, knocking down these scouts, and he's going to lose that squad. Will he lose both of them? I don't think he does. Just about gets out of there. 8 hit points, and it's getting its Sergeant. Apothecary went down again, getting its Sergeant, I think, yes, because the Raven Alpha has hardened carapace, which lets him burrow and be undetectable. You need a detector unit, which is what the Scout Sergeant is. Hormagaunts jumping through the flower bed, which often gets them stuck. They jump in when they're in synapse range and then lose synapse and get stuck inside it. Dark still pushing here with Banshees, gets them out. We managed to kill a lot of Guardsmen. Mor2ton has a Manticore on the field, and this is the first shot. I managed to dodge it just, but that thing comes back to haunt me later, you'll see. Tactical Marines take the north. Duck has forced off Spankeh. He used a Larimer's to get his Apothecary back up. Spankeh now has Gene Stealers, and they're going to be under melee synapse because we have Adrenal Gland Warriors on the way, and that is no joke. They have over almost 1,000 health already with melee synapse. Look at that, 1,700 hit points, level 1 Gene Stealers, crazy. Dark Flames on my Tyranids, does a lot of damage even though I dodged as soon as I could. Get in range of the Broodness now, which does have quite nice range. Hive Tyrant is capping, and I believe dies here because I'm not paying attention. Manticore Strike and Rippers spawn. Manticore hits the Rippers though, and my Hive Tyrant goes down because I wasn't paying attention. 332, 364. We have a double. HeadWrestler gets a Blood Crusher, which turns out to be a real nuisance. Dark's lost his Guardians, lost his Shuriken. Spankeh already has a Zone Thrope. I'm getting a Venom Brood to try and counter this Blood Crusher which I've spotted. 5 Strangle Warriors again doing an amazing job on his guards and allowing my Hormagaunts to get in. And there's an Immolate. And one Guardsman squad goes down. This squad gets away. So lucky, 13 hit points. They are now pushing really hard with Spankeh. They're tripling the middle, leaving Duck to take their power out, which was a huge mistake on their part, I think. I don't think you should ever triple on this map because it's so easy to get the opponent's power. That's just my opinion. Dark's going for some Warp Spiders. Mor2ton replacing the Guardsman he lost. My Venom Brood is on the field, and I get ranged Synapse to buff my double Termagants. See, I put my units in between the two bases there to double the health regen. Hive Tyrant is still down, and he's only level 1. Warlock is level 3, has Warp Throw. Apothecary level 2, Raven Alpha level 2, Inquisitor level 3 has her Crossbow Bolt Pistol and her Mandate. Chaos Sorcerer level 2. 277-357, they have a 2-to-1. But we've managed to pull back the VPs for now. Devastator unable to set up. Adrenal Gland, Gene Stealers in their face and they go down. Ouch. Went under melee Synapse, they are so nasty. Especially with Frenzy, healing them with each hit. Tactical Marine Sergeants get away. And that was a Manticore strike, I think, which we just about escaped. Warlock goes down thanks to the Blood Crusher. HeadWrestler, double CSM and Blood Crusher able to hold really well with these guys. Duck uses Laramans, getting both of our commanders up, but I should have stayed there and decapped. I didn't know that HeadWrestler had backed off to the south. And I lose my Hormagaunts because I totally forgot they were trying to cap. My first squad loss, the first of many, as you'll see. Darks gets a second Warp Spider squad. When you get 2 Warp Spiders out, it can be really, really nasty. Librarian on the field for Duck, very good choice. Also a Razorback to support all of his infantry, also a very good choice, I think. I come with my blob of Tyranids. Here comes Darks. I try to shoot the Blood Crusher with my Venom Brood, and here is a Manticore combined with Crippling Volley, and I lose about 21 or 22 models. Please excuse my language. I only have Barbed Strangle Warriors and a Venom Brood left. All of my non-Synapse creatures gone. And that was excellent play by Mor2ton. Crippling Volley into a Manticore. I was trying to move away instead of just retreating, and Crippling Volley prevented me from doing that, of course. Duck seems to have the measure of Spankeh. These units are inside this tunnel. This is just a visual bug with the replays that happens. Tunnel goes down, and it's going to be a 2-to-1 for blue. Warp Spiders in a shooting match with Plasma Guardsman and double Mark of Zinch CSM, which didn't work out too well. I go tier 3, hope of trying to salvage something out of this game. I send my Venom Brood to try and harass their power. Dark Flames on my Barbed Stranglers and the Manticore strike. Very, very mean. Managed to dodge it, but not much I can do against this Blood Crusher, which goes right after my Venom Brood here. So that's an utter fail. Power harass. Rod of Warp Fire on the Chaos Sorcerer, 277-160, and it's a 2-to-1 to blue. Banshees have their X up. Dark's on his own for the time being. So I did manage to sneak away and now come back in and try and cap the south. Guardsman and these double Zinch CSM are nasty. There's a really good Doom Bolts too. Excellent walkthrough from Docs, getting these CSM into Banshee range, but here comes that Blood Crusher, which is now level 2 and has done really well with HeadWrestler. I try to do some damage to it with my Venom Brew, but they're very low, so I'm very, very cautious here. And there's an Autarch, which forces Mor2ton to retreat. Didn't quite have the finesse to dodge. My Venom Brew thankfully get away. There's their range synapse. Duck doing really well in the north now. 272, 143. We have a 2-to-1 thanks to Duck being strong in the north. I go tier 3, and yes, I am saving for a Swarmlord. Move my Hive Tyrant away from the Blood Crusher. Not much I can do to it with Rending Talons. Yes, I could get Crushing Claws, but I like Rending Talons. So good versus infantry, which the blue team have a lot of, especially when all the fighting is focused in one place. Manticore Strike on my Hive Tyrant, which hits him 3 times I think. Still only level 2, what a noob. Warlock's level 3, here comes the Autarch. Sub-commander for Eldar. I see her leaping into combat, knocking back that stuff, but she needs to retreat, and there's an Immolate again. It's been used really well by Darks in this game. 2-4-3, 1-4-3. Here come double Haywire Grenades, and with my Venom Brood and those Banshees, we were able to finally take out this Blood Crusher. Got to level 3. Did really well for HeadWrestler. Should have got Heretics out to support him much earlier, I think, and they have grenade launchers. Here comes Spankeh coming through the middle, can't handle Duck right now, comes to try and bully us in the center and does a really good job, as you can see. These melee synapse gene stealers given to them by these adrenal glands, and here's a Manticore Strike on our stuff. Warp Spider's just about to teleport out, and I managed to dodge. Raven Alpha went down, not sure what he was trying to do, trying to force melee and tie up the Warp Spiders, I think. Duck sitting pretty, considering weather comes center. I let my teammates know that I'm getting a Swarmlord, so I'm not completely useless to them. Autarch jumps back, healing all of these Warp Spiders. Duck doing an amazing job holding on, with me being pretty much useless here. Stormtroopers on the way from Mor2ton, who is floating over 1,000 requisition here. 205143. Let you have another look at the resources as they stand. We have much better power income because we have 3 full gens. And can you see my wreck income is pretty good because I have so little upkeep. But here is the Swarmlord super unit for Tyranids, fights melee and emits a synapse that boosts speed and allows reinforcement. The great thing about the Swarmlord synapse is that it affects synapse creatures, so even my warriors and my Hive Tyrant are sped up here. Barbed Warriors on the Termagants. This is the first glimpse they've had of my Swarmlord, and he goes into melee. Mandate on the Inquisitor allows her to get away. I get engaged here by Geniuses and Warriors and decide to use Storm of Blade, I think it's called that, Storm of Blades on my Swarmlord. I usually save his energy for Leech Essence, but you can see Storm of Blades does tons of damage to this stuff, knocks it flying, and he's forced to retreat. I take out a warrior or 2 as well, so that worked out great for me. Ultramarines jumping in, Duck comes to help us out. My Barbed Warrior is still in there, and we managed to force them off en masse. 199, 126. We have a 2-to-1. It's gonna be a triple. That was Warp Fire. Chaos Sorcerer just about manages to teleport out. Manticore on the VP, so we can't cap it just yet. And I get a Zone Throat, and I put it in this crater cover towards the back. Send my Venom Brood to power harass, and they do okay. I think they take out 1 node and 1 generator. Venom Brood pretty good at power harassing. Duck heads back to the north because Spankeh has a Carnifex up here, and that might be a struggle for Duck. He has a Melter Bomb, but not much else to counter vehicles with. But now we have a triple, and I get the bonded exoskeleton and put another brood nest down that isn't in everyone's way. Mor2ton comes to the bottom, but he's trying to fight my Swarmlord with a single Stormtrooper squad. I put down Leech Essence, Warp Throw, and an Immolate, and a Manticore which kills tons of stuff. Looks like his own Guardsmen and some Banshees. Ouch. Here comes HeadWrestler with his double Zinch CSM, and I put down a Tyrant formation. My Zone Threat goes down from those stray grenades that really annoyed me. But my Tyrant formation does pretty well to those CSM. He doesn't lose any squads, but that's lots of expensive reinforcement. 82, 126, and we have a single Swarmlord force off the Chaos Sorcerer, not before he decapped. Duck struggling against his Carnifex with Genestealer support. They have their Rending Claws tier 3 upgrades, so they do high damage to all targets now, and this is a dead Razorback, I think. Now has missile launcher on his Tactical Marines. Tactical Marines allowed to switch their weapons as much as they like, as long as they pay each time. Librarian went down, which was really bad. Awful engagement for Duck. Lost the Razorback, lost the Librarian. Ouch. Assault Marines get their Sergeant back. We have a double 45-126. But look what Mor2ton is building. He's building a Baneblade. I'm getting another Venom Brood because I thought HeadWrestler was saving for a Great Unclean one, and I thought a Baneblade might be coming because you've seen very little from Mor2ton in tier 2 in terms of new units. We do have a Chaos Predator to deal with, and it has Mark of Zinch. So las cannons on my Swarmlord. Swarmlord has vehicle armor too, so you do need anti-vehicle weapons to take it out. Got a health buff in 3.19, taken up to 2000. You saw Spankeh put a Tyrant formation up there. 18-126, and Land Raider Redeemer on the way for Duck. Warp Fire on my Venom Brood doesn't quite take out a member. I think it should do a little more damage. I know it was really powerful before and they toned it down a bit, but now it seems a little bit lackluster. I suppose it's disruption and damage that you can put anywhere instantly, so I don't know. I think it'd do with a little bit of help. My Zone Throat. Luckily I had the shield up on this guy, or that Tyrant formation would have given him. Baneblade hits the field, super unit for Imperial Guard, bristling with guns, counters everything at range, so my double Zone Throat, Venom Brood, are looking quite fragile right now. I now go to Bash Power and leave poor Darks in the middle by himself against the Baneblade and a bunch of Chaos stuff. So it wasn't the best idea for me. Sacrificial Circle going down, spawning these Bloodletters. I think that's what it's called anyway. Warlock staying back. My Hive Tyrant in there. There's Seismic Roar. Where's the Zone Throat? He's down there helping the Power Bash. Now put up my Invulnerability, which is actually the name of the ability. So imaginative at Relic there. I need to retreat my big guy, and the Warlock got a bit overeager trying to take this VP. And it's a 2-1 and they have 3 victory points left with a Baneblade and a bunch of Chaos stuff. And Spankeh has the North. 397. We have the South. But that is all, and I decide I need to try and push and put pressure on. So here I come. The Plague Marines have snared my Swarmlord. A nasty Demolishing Cannon on my Venom Brood. Leech Essence heals up my Swarmlord. It's such a great ability. Should pretty much always save your energy for it, I think, in the rare occasions that are lots of juicy melee units attack him or it. Another Chaos Predator for HeadWrestler. Melter Bomb on my Swarmlord, but he's still chasing this thing. The Stormtroopers are attacking the Banshees. They should be attacking my Swarmlord. and blue team have a double because south is decapped. My Hive Tyrant during all of this crazy action decides to cap while nobody's looking. Swarmlord chasing the main blade. Unfortunately I can't get behind it for rear armor hits. Force off the guardsman. Warp Spiders force off the Chaos Sorcerer. Duck almost has this Carnifex down. Rippers spawned, which are causing havoc among his tactical marines. Falling back Carnifex. Duck goes for a Predator. What happened to the Land Raider? I didn't even see the thing. Wow. I then go directly to the south to cap, and huge mistake by HeadWrestler. He should be capping the middle right now, or at least trying to. Duck decapping north. Double Carnifex from Spankeh. But we managed to cap the south, and we managed to take this game with 29 VPs remaining. Lots of mistakes all around then, lots of crazy action, and the Manticore ruined my day. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.